Hello, my name is Toni Marie Burkhalter, and I'm here to introduce you to the mechanics of movement for Kinesiology 186, or human movement. Our body has many joints, which are varied in composition, which allows us to have a complex array of movements that aid in survival. If we want to fully understand how muscles change joint angles and provide for movement, we need to dive into some biomechanics and Newton's laws. As you learn more about the biomechanics of your body, you want to understand that there are many factors that can make an object more stable. For example, an increase in the size of the base of support will make a person more stable. The wider the base of support, the more stable the person standing. Also, the closer to the ground, the center of gravity, the more stable the object. If the center of gravity is in the center of the body, it allows for better stability. And the more weight you have on a person, the more stable the individual. Think about a sumo wrestler. They stand with their feet wide apart, a large base, squat down, center of gravity closer to the ground, are balanced with their center of gravity in the middle of the body, and generally carry a lot of body weight with a greater body mass. And lastly, the sumo wrestler needs to ensure that his feet have the appropriate friction. If they were standing with lotion on their feet, it would decrease their stability. And when you think about stability, picture the sumo wrestler. Although a sumo wrestler is very stable, he's not known for his flexibility. And when we discuss flexibility at the joints, we need to understand each joint has a specific measurable range of motion, which determines the joint's mobility. Range of motion can be influenced by lifestyle, flexibility, health, and physical disabilities. If you regularly exercise and stretch properly following a warm-up, you should see an improvement in the range of motion at the joints focused upon. You will increase your flexibility, and you can quantitatively measure your range of motion with a goniometer. Certain health conditions such as arthritis can lead to pain when a joint is moved, and thus decreased range of motion. If you have an injury or physical disability, it too could negatively impact the range of motion. If we look further than just flexibility and stability, we can see the benefits of material mechanics, allowing for our bodies to help us deal with external loads. There are several things to think about when learning about material mechanics: stress, strain, bending, torsion, and viscoelasticity. When your body resists the pressures of weight, stress is placed upon the structures. It can cause a change in shape, such as stretching of a ligament, lengthening of a tendon, or even a small bend in a bone. That's not necessarily bad. It can be good to have the ligament, tendon, or bone absorb the stress. In fact, we use the term strain to explain the change in shape that occurs when a stress is placed on a body part. But too much physical stress or load on your body can be bad, and a bone can bend too much or have too much torsion or twisting. If there's too much bending or torsion of a bone, the bone can actually break. Like I mentioned before, even though you may not know it, any force on your long bones results in bending, which puts stress on both sides of the bone, as one side becomes concave and the other side convex. And bones absorb stress differently compared to ligaments or tendons. Bone is more rigid, where a ligament and a tendon can actually store energy and spring back. The difference in material properties dictate the structure's viscoelasticity, or their viscous and elastic response when stress is placed on the body. With all this in mind, it makes a little more sense now that if you wanted to learn how to do the splits, you can't just drop down and do it. It involves a lot of training and slow stretching so that the tissues don't strain too much and become injured, and the stress won't just be in your head, it'll be on your tissues as well.